hello. Happy Monday. Happy May 1st. I'm so excited to be here for our first Monday Night Live of May. I hope you guys had an amazing, profitable April. Amen. I hope you did. April was good to me, and I hope it was good to you. If you are new here, hi. We do these Monday Night Lives every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hello if you are watching on in our Facebook private community, if you're in our general Facebook, or if you are on LinkedIn. We're not with Instagram today, but they're here in our hearts. They're here in our hearts because every time I hit the live button, I remember that I didn't set it up. But it's okay. You know what I'm going to do for Instagram? I'm going to give them their own time a little later this week. But anywho, let's get into it because we got to get in and get out on today. So today we're talking about scaling your coaching business, how to expand your reach and revenue streams. I know that in some of our previous sessions, I do a lot of work with our newbies, our people who are just coming in. Maybe they just have an idea of what they want to do in business and they haven't even started. But I realize some of you guys are not new to this. You are true to this. And so I want to make sure that I help you all as well, because this group is about, our private group is about scaling to 6 figures. So I want to make sure we do talk a little bit about scaling. But before we dive in, before we dive into our topic for tonight, I want to reintroduce myself. Look, it's a new month, new me, look, new hair. But I want to say, hi, guys. I am Corey Fonville Foster. I am a speaker, trainer. I am a certified small business coach. And I'm also the CEO and founder of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. We are based here in Virginia, USA, but we support entrepreneurs all over. We help them by helping them monetize their passions, right? I really believe that everyone has a gift. Everyone has a calling on their life. And when people want to monetize that thing, I really want to be there to support them. And we help you gain clarity in your offers. We help you find and engage with your people, right? Your tribe. And then we also help you confidently implement your sales and marketing plans to reach your goals. Not the goals that we set for you, not the goals the world sets for you, but your goals. I really believe that you can define what success means to you. And our goal at iRock is to help you succeed and reach that goal. All right, so a little bit of how we got here, because I realized in past Monday Night Lives, I ain't talk about it a lot. And I was just on a podcast and somebody said, why don't you talk about it more? And I'm like, all right, cool, here we go. But we're going to do a more condensed version as people join our live. And if you're joining, definitely tell me hey and tell me where you're from so I can see who's in the house. If you see me looking over, we're trying a new setup. I see my comments on one side, and then I see my notes more in front of me so I can give you guys a little bit more attention. But if you're wondering, what sets iRock apart, is really based on how we started. I was not privileged enough or lucky enough to come into business in a very traditional sense, meaning I didn't go to school for what it is I do now. I don't have a business degree or anything like that. I was kind of thrust into entrepreneurship after I had a big flare up of my eye condition that caused me to have to leave work, leave school, and basically just be out on disability. For those of you who have been there, look, I resonate with that. And through being out on disability and realizing that I still had a gift, I had something to offer, and just being honest, I wanted to be able to add to my family financially. Because we were coming from a 2-income house to a 1-income house. And if you've been there, you understand that that's a stress all in itself. And because we were in that situation, I was like, what can I do to support my family? And that answer for me, and it wasn't, I'm not saying that's the answer for everyone, but the answer for me was to start a business. And I started my first business. It was called iRock Mind, Body, and Soul. And we sold a lot of like skincare, homemade soaps and bath bombs and salves and oils. It was fun. It was a fun experience. And it was a lucrative business. And through that business, I connected with so many amazing entrepreneurs, small business owners. And I found there was a gap in the market for small business marketing and sales support that was affordable. right? That's the keyword, affordable. And thus iRock Marketable Business Solution was founded because I wanted to be that affordable solution. I know for me that when I started my business, there wasn't really affordable ways to build my website, to get a logo, to get tips and strategies, to find a community of others like myself. It didn't exist. I reached out to people, hey, how much does this cost? Everything was thousands of dollars that I just did not have. And so that's why we are here. We're here to support the little guys because you guys have just as much right to be successful, to have amazing businesses, to build generational wealth, to leave a legacy, and support those who you are put on this earth to support. And so our goal for this year is to support 100 small business owners reach their 2023 goals. And we are well on the way to doing just that. I'm so excited because we're in May and I can look and see how many people we've already worked with. And it just gives me so much excitement. So much excitement. All right, so a little bit about our community, because I keep mentioning it there in our private community. Our community, we call them the rock stars, right? The iRock rock stars. And if you're new to us, our little tagline is I rock, you rock, we all rock, because I really believe that we all can do this, right? If I can have a successful business, you for sure can have a successful business. And that means anybody who really wants it can have a successful business. All right. So if you are here watching right now, you are a rock star. If you're engaging with us in social media, on our podcast, it's called I Rock Business with Confidence Podcast. If you are looking at our blog posts or LinkedIn articles, you are already a rock star. You are part of our community. Welcome. If you have been to any of our free events, we host 1 to 2 master classes each and every month. And if you've attended one of those, guess what? You're a Rockstar Plus because you've done that extra thing to engage with us. Now we have some A-listers out there. Those are our A-list rock stars, and they are in our course programs, or they have done any of our like paid events. We have challenges and things like that come up, or even our summit. I forgot. Oh my gosh, about our iRock summit. And then we have our all stars, and those are people that are in our group coaching or marketing programs. And a lot of you have done that already, so welcome all stars. And then our elite stars are at the top of the list, and they are our one-on-one clients that work with us in a very intimate space, and we work with them for a nice amount of time to help them achieve their goals. So welcome, rock stars. Welcome to the fam. And if you're joining us, definitely tell me hey in the chat so I know that you're there. All right, so what are we covering today? All right, we're going to discover the strategies and tactics to scale your coaching business beyond one-on-one sessions to generate passive income. All right. Because that's the goal. Like I get right now, most of us are in this space of like, we're trying to get there, right? Trying to get that one client, the next client, the next client. And that works for a bit, but it's not sustainable. So in order to be sustainable, we have to find ways to scale and have passive income. I don't know anyone who got into business because they wanted to work in it every day, all day, doing 40, 60, 80 hours a week. Like that's not the dream. The dream is to have a business that's running, that can support the people you want to support, but that you also can have vacations and take midday naps and travel and live this life, right? And in order to do that, we have to learn about scaling. All right, so let's talk about it. Why should you be scaling? Because that's the thing. So we talked a little bit about, like I said, it gives you back your time, which is really important. And it also paves the way for long-term success. There are no businesses out here that are just doing one-to-one and that are super, super successful. None that I've known. If you know, you can throw it in the chat. But most people, their businesses are sustainable because they sell one-to-many. Right. So I made this one thing and everybody can get it. That's that one to many. And that's the thought process that we need to have as entrepreneurs. I get why we do one-to-one, and I recommend that for everyone starting out because it's a lot easier to supply a one-to-one product, right? If you're a coach and you say, okay, well, I'm going to coach you, person A. Well, person A maybe only needs 1 hour of your time a week, even with prep and, finishing up any things after your sessions, maybe max 2 hours a week. That's not a lot of time. And you're still getting a nice amount of money because that's a higher price or higher investment on your client's end. However, you only have so many hours in the day, right? Could you sustain your business with 20 one-on-one clients, right? Well, after a while, you're going to be burnt out. You're going to be tired. You don't have time to work on your business because you're in your business doing all the things. And again, it's not sustainable. So we want to start thinking, how can we ease our workload? How can we have more balance? How can we make sure that business is going to be successful and be able to keep running without us being all hands on deck every single day? So one way is through, again, going from selling to one to selling to the many, right? So if you're a coach, doing group coaching is going to be something that I encourage you to do. Yes, it takes a little longer to set it up than one-on-one, but you probably have a lot of the material because you've been working with your one-on-one clients. You know their needs, you know their struggles, you know their pain points. You just need to package it and sell that to your audience. Right. So I'm not saying you got to go have 1,000 courses. I'm not saying that, but having one nice course is going to really help you. One, it'll give you your time back, but two, for those individuals who either are not ready or don't have the funds to be with you on that elite level of having the one-on-one, group coaching is another option for them, which is going to really help you close more sales. Because you can say, okay, I get either you're not prepared to do one-on-one, or right now this isn't going to be a good financial place for you. I do have a group coaching program that includes X, Y, and Z that I think would be a great fit. You still go to the same finish line. It's just a little different. They don't have as much access to you. Because we talked about that before, the value ladder of the more access they have to you, the higher the investment is. So they have a little less access to you, not total cutoff, but they're still getting massive value. They're getting your tips, your strategies. They're getting the community because you built it in your group coaching program. All right, something else you can do is create an online course, right? So you got your group coaching program. I like hybrids. I like, if you're going to do group coaching, I want to give you a course as well. Because group coaching could just be, hey, group coaching sessions, which are fun. They're fine, but I love a good course. Courses are a great passive income strategy. They can be priced as low as, a couple of bucks all the way to a couple $1,000s. Just depends on how robust and what solution you're really giving your clientele. If you are just giving them a small win, then no, then no, it isn't going to be super expensive. But if you're really solving a major problem and you have all the bells and whistles in your course, it can be a pretty lucrative thing. I've been to some courses where there is so many hours of content. There are quizzes to do check-ins. There's a support if you get stuck somewhere. There are implementation activities. There's a paper transcript you can print out. There are handouts to complete. Like, it's a lot of things, and those programs can be quite pricey, but rightfully so. So having an online course doesn't mean you have this little rinky-dink, 3 videos you put together, but it could be anywhere from a couple of videos to, like I said, this robust program, and then you would just price it accordingly. But either way, the point of it is it's passive. People don't have to have a whole sit-down conversation with you to buy a course. Most people feel pretty comfortable if they like what you're talking about in the lead to the course. That could be through a lead magnet that's already set up, that's evergreen. That could be maybe they saw you at an event. That could be they just came across an ad, whatever. If it sounds like it's going to solve their problem and it's appropriately priced, a lot of times they'll just click and go ahead and buy it, which is lovely. You don't have to worry about it. Also, again, if you want to add it to a group coaching or a one-on-one, it allows you to increase the investment price to your audience. So it's a great asset to have in your business as well. So let's talk also in that same vein about digital products. Digital products, again, great passive income. That could be ebooks, workbooks, templates, guides. All of those things are great ways for people to, again, get a little solved, get support, less on you, and they're evergreen. They're there. People can just purchase them. These are things you can throw on your website. These are things that you can have for different events. Sometimes they are giveaways. But these digital products are going to add to your value ladder and give you the opportunity to make sales that you may not have. And again, it doesn't take you actively doing this, right? The stuff in the ebook is there. You don't have to go and read this information to someone, right? The ebook is working and you're asleep. The workbook is working and you're asleep. They're going through your templates and editing them while you're asleep. Like, you're not worried about that. You are able to work on other things in your business while these things are happening. And yes, I get that these aren't huge ticket items, but they add up. They do add up. And so, yes, we're not going to start here in our business. We're not going to say, okay, we're going to sell a bazillion ebooks. No. But while you're doing your one-on-one with maybe 10 clients, and while you have maybe 100 people in your group course, and then you have another 100 to 500 people going through, your group coaching, and then having a couple hundred people in your course, and then you also are selling a couple hundred books a month. Again, these numbers add up. These numbers add up. The truth is the truth. The numbers add up. So just keep that in mind. What digital products can you make? Again, in the same vein of what it is you do. Like, I want all these things to be about the same stuff. Don't go trying to make random things for random reasons. Like, all these things could be going towards the same goal. They're just pieces of the puzzle. All right, so let's talk some about technology, because this is going to help you also scale. Because again, if you're one person and you're just starting out, or you're in business and you are all the things, right? You are the project manager, you're the CEO, the CFO, the janitor, the financial person. You're all the things, right? A lot of you don't have teams yet. Technology is going to be your friend. You really, really, really want to leverage technology. It's going to help you automate your business and do a lot and keep track of a lot of the functions, because as you grow, things are going to be all over the place, right? You're like, who did I talk to last week, and what did they need, and did I send that invoice, and did I send that contract, and did I follow up, and what email did they send, did I get that done? Like, it's a lot. And I do encourage you to eventually build out your team, but technology is going to be your friend. But I want to really instill in you that technology is a tool. Right? Just like right now, Chat GPT's out and everybody's like, Chat GPT. Somebody even messaged me and said, AI can run your whole business. I don't want AI to run my business. I want to run my business. I want to use it as a tool, which it is. It's a great tool. So we're going to talk a little bit about some tools to think about and use. Now, I will preface this with saying, if you're in our private Facebook community, if you go to the guide section, I have my affordable resources handout there. Check it out. I do need to update it because I have a few new platforms I would love to add, but it'll at least get you started on thinking, okay, if I'm trying to solve this technology issue, which platforms can I use? And it's broken up in categories from like websites to landing pages, emails, CRMs, and the list goes on and on. So check it out. If you have any additional questions, you can always reach out to me, because in this talk, I might throw out a couple of them, but that is a more complete list. And you really should, and I always tell you, when you think about software, can you afford it for at least a year? Can you work it? Those are the keys. If you can't do those, then don't buy it. I don't care. Somebody says it's the best thing since sliced bread. I find a lot of people waste money buying things that they don't have the capacity to use. It doesn't matter if it says it does all the bells and whistles. If you can't do it, then it don't work, right, for you. All right, so just keep that in mind. So we're going to leverage technology to help you do automation. All right, so let's talk about dealing with clients, right? Because the whole point of this is you want to have more clients. Well, you have to have a way to manage those clients and communicate with those clients. And one way you can do that is through a CRM system. It's a customer relationships management system. My favorite is HoneyBook. I'm going to throw that out there. It's really affordable and I love it. An equivalent of HoneyBook, if that's not your jam, is definitely going to be a Dipsado. And I have had clients use things like HubSpot. Not my favorite, but you can use it if you like. Again, if it fits your fancy. I find people who are in more techie like HubSpot. Most of my clients aren't super techie, so I always recommend HoneyBook. And HoneyBook and Dipsado are pretty neck and neck. It's just usually a vibe of what do you like the look and feel to be like. Check it out on YouTube, see which one you like the look of more. Both about the same price. But yeah, CRM system is going to be great because it's going to help you communicate with clients. The thing that I love about technology is when it works is the idea that people feel like it's really professional and really well put together. All right. So your clients on a journey with you, right? From the minute they do an inquiry to the minute that you finish your project. I love CRM systems because they track where people are in that journey, right? And you can customize the journey, but for me, they started an inquiry space. So maybe they submit a form, somehow they are introduced to me. Then it says to follow up. I need to tell them like, hey, I see you. Thanks for inquiring. We'd love to support you. Let's get on a call. Then you have the call stage where you talk to them and you try to pitch them or you see how you can support them. And then they move on to the next phase where you're sending their proposal, which has usually the information about what you're going to be supplying, their contract, their invoice, payment schedule, all that good stuff. And then they go on to it being paid. We then plan their work, we complete their work. And then once we're all done, we archive their project. Woo! Well, sounds like a lot because it is. And just imagine multiple people in that at the same time at different stages. Well, CRM helps that because literally it will move people automatically through those stages, or as you complete different tasks, you can manually move them through the stages. And it makes it easier because you are doing the same things over and over and over again, right? You're sending that same type of proposal out because you have the same products. You're sending the same types of emails out, the same questionnaires, the same invites to book a call. Well, you put those in a system so that they're just click and go. Click it. You may customize a name or something like that, or, customize an offer. But a lot of that stuff is pre-made and it saves you time. And then you can track where people are. You can track responses. It'll tell you, hey, somebody didn't read that email. You might want to send it again or reach out to them via phone because they didn't do it. Maybe you need to do a task for somebody. You can put that in and it can remind you. So a CRM is basically like your assistant mixed with a place to house your potential and current and past clients. It is absolutely great to be able to go into it and see notes for the client. If they emailed you, and you can go back and see emails, people talk to me and tell me so many amazing things about what they have for their business, their hopes and their dreams. And then they want me to remember a month later. And by the time I see them again, I may have talked to 30, 40 people about their hopes and dreams, but I can see in the emails and I can see in my notes what they talked about, what we discussed. And it makes it so much easier to then move that client to the next step in that next phase. So I do encourage you to grab a CRM. Different CRMs will have different functions. But HoneyBook is really great because it does allow your clients to have their own little place to do all the things and keep track of their stuff. And then you can see all their things on your side as well. And I love the automation of it all. And like I said, Dubsado does the same thing, and it allows you to really show up as your professional self and close the deal. All right. Some other things you want to think about leveraging is outside of the CRM is also managing how you can reach more clients, right? We live in a time where it's amazing because there's a lot of free opportunities to meet clients, but you got to be smart about it. You do have to be smart about it. I had coaches that were from the old days who literally had to do infomercials to get in front of people, and they had to have tons of inventory. So if they were selling a book, they had to have a warehouse to house all these books, right? That was before Amazon. They had to have infomercials because like Facebook ads weren't a thing because Facebook wasn't a thing. And so they had to have a lot of capital in order to get started. You guys, we don't have that issue. So make sure you're leveraging your social media. These things are free. Why don't you have a Facebook, an Instagram, a Twitter, a LinkedIn, a Pinterest, a TikTok? Use them. And then use technology platforms to help you schedule those posts. I love later.com, later.com. We actually use it for all of our social media clients. I'm not going to gatekeep that. You can look it up. It's my favorite because it allows us to schedule posts to go out, right? Again, we're trying to get our time back. I find that when you batch work, you save a lot of time, or you can outsource that to like a VA or somebody, heck, a kid, and say, hey, this is all my content. This is my graphics, my wording, my videos, put it in the system. This is how many I want a day on these platforms. Well, you can do that. We actually will schedule in one day a month's worth of content in later, and it'll just run. So every day you guys see we post, guess what? Those are pre-scheduled. I don't wake up in the morning and say, yay, let me post something. It's already going to post at its time and do what it needs to do. Okay, so make sure you're using your social media. Same with email marketing. If you're on our email list, you know that every week you get a reminder to come to these lives. We also tell you about our master classes. We tell you about all the amazing things going on in the iRock world. We give you free tips and strategies. Those are pre-scheduled emails. The only time we're not pre-scheduling an email is if we're talking to just one person. But if it's getting batched out, it's getting scheduled in our system to go out. And it's great because we can set it up, we can design it, we can brand it, we can use it as a template. We can put it in a sequence and it can run on its own, which is really, really helpful for you as you scale. Also using digital advertising. Now, I don't do a lot of ads promotion in our community because most of us who are in here do not have funds to be running ads the way ads need to be ran. It's pretty expensive. But again, if you're at a place for scaling, go ahead and run some ads as well through social media. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and even Facebook have pretty good ad capability. So go ahead and run you an ad. I ain't gonna stop you. Just make sure you know what you're doing and that you understand the investment and really check in on it to make sure that if you need to tweak anything, you do. But these are all things, these is always we can leverage the technology that's available to us to get this job done. So something else we need to talk about is scheduling tools, right? I already talked about scheduling your emails, scheduling your social media, but you also want people to be able to schedule meetings with you. I cannot tell you how frustrating it gets when I'm talking with an individual who has a business and they maybe want me to they're not coming to me for work, but maybe they want me to do an event or get on a podcast or do whatever. And it's like, okay, when are you free? What time zone are you in? Can you give me a few options? It's just like, can we just get, where is the schedule? I love Calendly. I probably have said it wrong. I say it wrong all the time, but it's a great tool for scheduling. And now I'm to the point where I actually have it's called an event in Calendly where it's called Other. So if that happens from now on, I just say, hey, here's my schedule. Let me throw you in there and they can just book a time that works best for us because in this day and age, we work with people all over the country. I don't want to have to sit here and count on my fingers Pacific time to East time to Central time, Mountain time. Like, go ahead and schedule at a time that works best for you, and it's already connected to my calendar. It'll also go ahead and put it on my calendar when you schedule, and then I have it set up that it actually sends reminders to both of us to make sure we show. So it's not, oh well, this is the time and here's my phone number. Like in my calendar, the only way to talk to me is through a virtual meeting. Like I want to see your face. But other people may have a phone option, a Google Meet option, and hey, now we know how we're meeting, we know what time, when, and we have reminders. It even sends a text reminder. So that's the beauty of having a scheduler. It's again, saves you that time going back and forth. When can we meet? When is good for you? Oh, that don't work for me. I got a dentist appointment. Does this work for you? No, I got to take my baby to the doctor. It's just like, no, throw it on the schedule. Great. It even allows people to reschedule if they need to, which is another blessing in itself. Also, things to automate your billing and payments. Like I told you before, I use my CRM for that for the most part. And you can use whatever you're using for your virtual products, like if they're checking out a course or whatever. Most of those platforms have it. But billing, you don't want to have to be sending invoices all the time. The first year of my business, I was sending invoices through PayPal, and I'm not knocking it. I did it because I didn't know any better. And it worked. But at the end of the year, some of my clients who had done really, really well, their tax people wanted those invoices, they wanted the receipts. And my clients at the time, because while they were newer and they were making money, they were still new. They didn't keep it. They would say, oh, I got it, and delete out their email. And so after my first year, I had clients being like, hey, can you send me all the receipts for the year? And I was like, oh God, I had to go on PayPal and figure that out and send them that stuff. But now that it's in my CRM, they can see it. They have access to it. It's not a thing, which helps me out a lot that, I don't have to go and manually send things like that anymore. Or I could send a copy to them and say, oh, here it is with your payment schedule. It's showing you did it. There it is in one click. So make sure people can pay you in an easy way. Make sure that they can schedule with you in an easy way so that you can keep it simple for yourself and for them. All right, so let's talk about some things about revenue, because I think we need to talk about that. Let me get a sip here. And shout out to you guys watching. I see you. All right, so let's talk about multiple streams, because you can't necessarily scale to the level you want without having multiple streams of income. I know one thing I knew going into business is that I wanted to build a portfolio of at least 7 streams of income, like different stuff. So like have a business or 2 or 3, have some real estate, have some, different things, like invest in different things and all that stuff. I'm still building my portfolio out. but I wanted multiple streams of income, and you should too. But when it comes to your business, you can have some different streams of income. We've talked about like the coaching stuff, which is great, but you also can think about upselling, because I know a lot of you are always focused on new people coming in, new people, but you may not necessarily be thinking about the people who are already doing business with you and upselling them. So say, for instance, you coach someone, they love the program, maybe they're in a course with you, a coaching course, and they're almost done. Upsell them the next level. Are you ready for the next level, the next thing? That's great. Also, while people are on the calls with you, right, you already got them there. They say, okay, well, I saw that you have a course. I want that. Well, hey, have you considered the group coaching or the one-on-one coaching? I think that might be a better fit. Don't be afraid to upsell people. All right. Selling a service. I had to message somebody that today. Selling a service. If you know that what you have can support them and help them, then you shouldn't feel bad about asking them to invest in that thing. All right. So don't be afraid to upsell. Something else, develop new products and services. Now that you got a little bit more time on your hands, go ahead and be creating new products and services. I don't want you to try to create all the things we talked about in this webinar, this training tonight. Right. It's a lot. If you already have your one-on-one, great. Take your one-on-one, look at what you're doing, and start working on your course. And just focus on that. And when you're done, then you can focus on some additional things. Pull a few things from there and make an ebook here, make a handout here, make a template, make a guide. Ooh, excuse me. Create a webinar later. Like, don't try to do it all now, but be creative and always have different things coming out, whether they're going to be evergreen things or things that are time sensitive that are only going to be out here and there. Maybe it's an event or what have you, a conference, a seminar, a summit, a retreat. Be thinking about new ways to bring in cash flow to your business. Something else you can do, and we actually used to have this, we're going to bring it back, is have an affiliate program, right? Referrals are amazing, but I find that people are more likely to say negative things than positive things just because they're not thinking about it. Having an affiliate program is a great thing to offer your current clients and others, just people out here. Some people are really good at sales and they will be your great affiliate people as well, but give them a kickback. So they have their own links to your products and services. They sell them. The people pay for it, right? Your course, your ebook, your trainings, your templates. And then they get paid a little something out of it. You don't lose any money. You put that into your cost. You know how much it's going to cost you to run an affiliate program. Look at your numbers. But I had a client, again, that first year of business where I was just trying to get any and everybody. And we did a $100 credit for every new person they brought in. And I kid you not, every month she brought in someone new and she got that $100 credit. And it didn't hurt us because we already had a nice profit margin. And every client she brought in was it was a new 6-month contract. So that's 6 months she was in there. Well, she was more for 6 months, but that program, she did 6 months of that. So she saved $600. Yay for her. And then also she got a six-month contracts. So we all won. We are currently building out a new affiliate program. So stay tuned for that because it'll just give you some money. Credits were cool, but it was a lot to keep track of. So it'll just give you some money. But yeah, if you can, and a lot of platforms like Kajabi, Kartra, they have that built in where you can create affiliate programs for your audience, which is really, really nice. All right. So something else that I want you to think about, and this is the last little tip we're going to give, is don't be afraid to collaborate. Collaboration is amazing. And even if it's on a small scale, like it doesn't have to be this huge thing. Being, sharing each other's events, being on each other's events, being on each other's podcasts, whatever you have to do to get in front of a new audience, like collaborate with amazing individuals. I love the giveaways where people will get together and do like their lead magnets or give away a little course or something like that, because people are like, cool, I pay $45, I get 45 courses, yay. And then all of the people that gave those courses get that contact. And if they liked what they got, then they're probably your target audience anyway. And now you've built your email list, you can connect with them and sell them more things in the future. Right? So don't be afraid to collaborate. It is one of the best things you can do as an entrepreneur. build your network, because these are going to be, again, some of your best referrals. They're going to say, oh yeah, I know somebody who does this and that. And you hear me talking about my people all the time, like, yeah, these are my folks. And we do genuinely refer to each other. Like, I know if somebody comes to me and they're really trying to figure out their where to put their money now that they're making some, I know to reach out to Tremaine Will, say, hey, she's great at that. If you're trying to get some capital, I'm going to say, hey, go over to Denise. If you're trying to legally protect your business, I'm going to say, go ahead to my friend Jamila, right? I got people for those things. Hey, you want to write a book? I got Sarah for you. She can help you do that. Right? Well, she helps you through the writing process if you want to write your book. Hey, if you don't want to write your book, you want some help, then I got Yaku for that. So we got plenty of people in our community, and that's through just genuine collaboration. You have to realize you can't work in this idea of everything's a competition, because you will feel very lonely in that. We want you to realize that these are people that can support you. Now, you got to be picky with some folk. Don't just pick everybody, but make some genuine connections, collaborate, because that can be another revenue stream for you as well. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with today is, all these things are amazing, but always, when you're putting together new programs, new strategies, I want to remind you to test them out and make sure you evaluate those results and then adjust as needed. All right. Too many of you are just making things and leaving them. You got to come back and look. How did it go? Right? What are the analytics saying? What's working? What's not? What's worth my time? What's not? Should I increase the price? Should I lower the price? Is it getting to the right audience? Are there glitches in the system? Where can I make it better? These are things you need to constantly do as a business person. When something is new, I would say weekly, if not daily, check in. Once things have been running smoothly, quarterly check in, just to make sure that there is no need for changes and improvement. Okay, so that's something to really think about. So I do want to say this. If you heard this session tonight and you're like, oh, this sounds great, but I'm not sure where to start setting up my systems. Like, I don't know which platforms to use. I've already invested in different platforms, but I'm not sure how to make them work together and integrate. Let's go ahead and talk. Let's work together to build your systems out and make sure that you can reach who you want, but also once you get them, that they have a smooth way to run through your business, and you have a way to upsell them and keep them in the family, right? We got our iRock family, those rock stars. We try to keep you guys in the family. So just comment below the word system, and we will send you a link to get on a chat so we can talk and make sure we give you the support you need to get those systems set up. And before we go, I just want to remind you guys that I will be on May 9th. I will be a speaker at the Mom Powered Virtual Conference. It's taking place May 9th through the 13th. It is a free virtual event, so you can check it out from the comfort of your own home in your PJs, which is going to be really great. There's over 30 speakers, and I do encourage you. I will make sure that I drop the link in the chats as soon as this is over, but definitely go ahead and grab yourself a ticket and enjoy. If you are a mom and you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out, how can I have it all? How can I do all the things? You need to be at this conference. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm doing a talk about monetizing your passion. Look, got to stay on brand. And there's going to be different days. We'll focus on different things. So I do encourage you to check it out. You have nothing to lose. It's completely free, and you're going to get massive value. Like I said, 30 speakers, and lots of goodies. Look, I'm saying lots of goodies. So definitely do check that out. Thank you all who came to the last conference I was a part of. I do a lot of women's events apparently, but hey, I love it. And also, if you haven't already checked out the I Rock with Confidence podcast, definitely do leave us a review. Let me know your thoughts. We have more episodes coming. Season 1 has been so fun to record and get to know these amazing speakers, some of which will be in our master classes. And we do have a master class coming up. I'm sorry I didn't have a slide for it, but Lion Flood will be with us on May 10th at noon. And you will need to register to attend that. If you're in the private community or on LinkedIn, that event and registration is in the event sections. So you can check those out and register. It's, again, completely free. I be trying to give you all the free stuff. So definitely check that out. But guys, that is our talk for today. I hope you gain more clarity and understanding on how you may be able to scale your small business. Because just because you're small doesn't mean you can't scale. And guys, remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. And I will talk to you soon.